has to do is basically go attention go, and you're off and racing.
And we do partially jest about the role of the Cox, but it is such a key role in these crew boats, especially in the younger crews. So it is a critical part of these crews to help them to row together, and obviously not just the steering task, but guiding the crew and working through the race plan, and in so many ways are critical, almost as critical as the coach, in helping them to work through their race, especially on a day like today.
And so much so, Richard, I'm sure you've seen it as well, but at school level and all the way up to the Olympic level, there have been Coxes that have arguably made the difference between a second and a first, or a third and a second.
Yep. Yeah, no, very true. And there's been a few examples of great Coxes, especially in the school program, who were able to get themselves into first eights for a few years and have a really successful time once they learnt their craft. And they are on their way, so the Coxons here have done a very good job of keeping the boats in their lane, and the starter sends them on their way. This is the Year 9 Division 1 Cox Quad Scull, the premier event in Year 9, the last of our Year 9 races for today. We move after this race to the 1,500 metre start for our Year 10 races, and we do have a full field here of 9 crews, as you'd expect in Division 1. Lewis Hill Lane 2 are closest to the camera, All Hallows Lane 3, St Margaret's in 4, Somerville House in 5, St Hilda's Lane 6, Brisbane's 8 High School in 7, Stewart Home in 8, Brisbane Girls Grammar School in 9, and St Peter's Lutheran College are the crew in Lane 10, closest to the spectator side of the bank. And I would keep a watch on the bright green and the bright yellow, lanes 5 and 6, Somerville House and St Hilda's, who've shared the win so far this season and have already taken about half a length or so on the rest of the field. It looks to be St Hilda's just edging Somerville, and then probably St Margaret's in third place at this point, but still very early on in this race. So through the first 250 they've gone. It does look to be those two crews, as we thought, St Hilda's and Somerville House. Last week there was just under 2 seconds between, in fact, St Hilda's and State High was second last week. Somerville were third, but only 0.16 of a second away from second spot. So there's been some great racing between these crews, but St Hilda's won it last week, and they look to be in front here as well, that crew of Nikita Rogers, Isabella Karantzopoulos, Sarah McCarthy, Dahlia Ferraro and Clementine Henderson, coached by Nick Graham. We'll be then about 3/4 of a length back it would be to Somerville House, the lane 5 combination there in the bright green boat. Elizabeth Hooper, Phoebe Hurst, Emma O'Neill, Evelyn Wiseman and Abby Mortis. They are coached by Alan Jones, the crew from Somerville. That angle a little bit deceptive there on screen. There's probably the best part of 2/3 of a length between those two crews, and you can see it there now as the yellow boat of St Hilda's is edging out clear of the bright green boat of Somerville House. Oh, now into the final quarter of the race. It is still St Hilda's with the edge on Somerville. Back on the spectator side of the course, the crew from Stewart Home, and also possibly on the close lane, St Peter's are there as well, and then a flotilla of boats very close together on the far side. All Hallows there with St Margaret's and Lewis Hill as well. So Somerville House are responding now to St Hilda's. They had about 3/4 of a length. I reckon that's been cut down to half a length or even less as the green boat gets moving from Somerville House. Also Stewart Home are chasing hard here as they do come inside the final 100 metres of the race. And don't watch out for also St Peter's there on the spectator side of the course. St Hilda's are in front, but Somerville House, they're coming from all over the course. St Peter's finishing quickly. St Margaret's are there with Stewart Home as well, but amidst all the chaos, St Hilda's are holding on by about a canvas. They've got 3 strokes to go. St Hilda's and Somerville House, they hit the line. St Hilda's get the win. St Hilda's first, Somerville second, very tight for third. It'll go the way of the Stewart Home. Then fourth is St Peter's. Fifth, I think, will be St Margaret's. Sixth, I got no idea. It was very close. And then probably Brisbane Girls Grammar School will finish 8th. And 9th, the far side, the crew from Lewis Hill. Close racing as expected. The Year 9 Division 1 Cox Quad Scull. And in a great finish, St Hilda's hold on and take the win.
So rounding out our U9 quad events for 2023, a fantastic and very exciting win to St Kilda's in lane 6, very narrowly holding off a late and aggressive challenge from Somerville House in lane 5, going over in second place. Third was Stuart home. Fourth, the way we saw it, St Peter's on the inside lane 10, sort of snuck up the inside lane, and always a tricky one. And easy to miss until probably the last 100 metres, and then you go, oh my goodness, where did they come from? But St Peter's, a very solid 4th place. 5th, St Margaret's in lane 4. 6th was All Hallows.